The Story of Sammy and Learning English. Part 1, The First Steps. Sammy was a young man from a small village called Gulabad, who always dreamed of moving to the big city of London and living there. He had heard that London was full of job opportunities and offered a better life. But they had a big problem. He didn't know English. Sammy had heard from his friends that learning English wasn't easy and required a lot of time and effort. Nevertheless, he decided to do whatever it took to achieve his dream. His first step was to buy a simple English learning book from a small shop in not the village. When Sammy returned home, he opened the book and looked carefully at the first lesson. The first page started with the simple, familiar word, hello. Sammy repeated this word out loud. Hello, hello. It felt strange. He had never spoken in English before, but this small, simple word made him smile. Next, Sammy learned that to say goodbye, he needed to say goodbye. He repeated the words several times and then decided to use them in simple sentences. He said to himself, hello, my name is Sammy. Goodbye, learning more simple words. After some time learning simple words, Sammy decided to move on to the next lesson. This time, he encountered important words like please and thank you. These words are very useful in daily conversations and show respect to others. Sammy knew that these words could help him communicate better, so he repeated them several times. He practiced saying, please help me, thank you for your help, practicing speaking in English every day. Sammy practiced simple words and sentences for about an hour. He repeated each word he learned many times and even tried to use them in his daily conversations. For example, when he wanted to ask his younger sister to do something for him, he said, please, can you bring me a glass of water? After a few weeks, Sammy noticed that he was no longer shy about saying these phrases, and he even spoke to himself in English while looking in the mirror. Every time he learned a new word, he felt like he was one step closer to his dream. Part 2, Daily Challenges. A few weeks after Sammy started learning English, he had learned basic words and some everyday phrases, but he wasn't yet comfortable with longer conversations. He felt that he needed more practice to handle real-life situations better. One day, an old friend named Salim came to the village from the city. Salim, who lived in the city, knew a little English. Sammy eagerly went to him and said, hi, Salim, I'm learning English. Salim smiled and said, that's great, Sammy. Show me what you've learned. Sammy said shyly, hello, my name is Sammy. How are you? Salim laughed and said, that's very good, but you need more practice. For example, you could try talking more about yourself. Practicing daily conversations. Sammy decided to practice more conversations with Salim's help. Salim told him it would be good to talk about topics like work, food, and personal interests. Sammy agreed, and they started a conversation. Salim, what do you like to do in your free time? Sammy, I like to read books and go for a walk. Salim was impressed with Sammy's sentences and said, very good. Just try to speak with more confidence. His first encounter with a tourist. A few days later, Sammy, who was still learning, had a surprising encounter. He was walking in the village when he suddenly saw a foreign tourist who seemed lost. Sammy knew this was a great opportunity to practice his English. He approached with a smile and said, hello, can I help you? The tourist, happy to see someone who spoke English, said, yes, please. I'm looking for the nearest bus station. Sammy paused. He didn't know the exact meaning of bus station, but he understood the word bus and figured out that the tourist was asking about the bus stop. He replied slowly, "Go straight, then turn left." The tourist smiled and said, "Thank you so much." Sammy was thrilled with this experience. It was the first time he had helped a foreigner and used English in a real-life situation. Part 3. Learning Grammar and Improving. Listening Skills. After his successful experience with the tourist, Sammy realized he needed to put more effort into learning English, especially grammar, and listening skills. He understood that if he could build more complex sentences and improve his listening, he would feel more confident in conversations. One morning, Sammy went to the village bookstore and bought a new English grammar book. He decided to read and practice a section of the book every day, learning the simple present tense. The first part Sammy focused on was learning the simple present tense. He learned that to talk about things he does regularly or habits, he needed to use this tense. He practiced sentences like these: I read a book every day. I go for a walk in the evening. I help my family at home. Sammy repeated these sentences to himself and then tried using this grammar to talk about his daily activities. He felt that this practice helped make his sentences more fluent and structured. His first attempt at watching English learning videos to improve his listening skills, Sammy had decided to use the internet. He went to an internet cafe and, with Salim's help, was able to access English learning videos. Watching these videos was challenging for him, as they spoke quickly, and he couldn't understand many words. But with persistence and daily practice, he managed to pick up a few new phrases and improve his pronunciation. Part 4. The Journey Begins. As Sammy followed Leora through the forest, the atmosphere transformed around him. The trees seemed to whisper secrets, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Every step brought him closer to the heart of the magical realm. "Where are we going?" Sammy asked, his curiosity piqued. "To the Crystal Lake," Leora replied. "It is said that the waters hold the wisdom of the ages. Many have come seeking its secrets, but only a few are deemed worthy." Soon they arrived at the Crystal Lake, shimmering under the sunlight like 1,000 diamonds scattered on the surface. Sammy stood in awe, captivated by the beauty before him. "Gaze into the water, and you shall see your true self," Leora instructed. As Sammy peered into the lake, the reflection that stared back was not just his physical appearance, but the essence of who he was, the dreams he harbored, the fears he faced, and the bravery he possessed. It was a profound moment of self-discovery. Part 5. The Challenge. But their peace was short-lived. Suddenly, dark clouds gathered above, and a chilling wind swept through the trees. From the shadows emerged a fearsome creature, a shadowy beast with piercing eyes that glowed like embers. "I am the keeper of secrets," it growled, its voice echoing ominously. "To gain knowledge, you must pass my test." "What kind of test?" Sammy asked, his heart pounding. "You must answer 3 riddles. Fail, and you will be lost in the shadows forever." Sammy exchanged a worried glance with Leora, but nodded determinedly. "I'll try my best." The keeper spoke the first riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Sammy thought for a moment and then exclaimed, "An echo!" "Correct," the keeper said, its form shimmering slightly. The second riddle followed. "I can fly without wings. I can cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness flies. What am I? After pondering, Sammy answered confidently, A cloud. Again, correct. The keeper conceded, now visibly less threatening. Finally, the last riddle was presented. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Sammy furrowed his brow, searching his mind for the answer. Then it hit him. Footsteps. With that answer, the keeper roared in approval. You have proven yourself worthy. The secrets are yours to claim. Part 6, The Revelation. With the keeper's blessing, the dark clouds parted, and sunlight flooded the lake once more. Sammy felt a surge of energy and wisdom flowing through him. Now, you must choose, Leora said, her expression serious. You can keep the knowledge for yourself, or you can share it with the world to help others. Sammy thought deeply. He realized that the journey had not just been about adventure, but about understanding and growth. I wanted to share it, he decided. Knowledge is meant to be shared. Leora smiled brightly. A noble choice, Sammy. Your heart is pure and your path will lead to great things. Part 7, A New Beginning. With newfound wisdom, Sammy returned home, his heart filled with stories and lessons from the enchanted forest. He shared his experiences with his friends and family, inspiring them to seek their adventures and embrace their own journeys. As time passed, Sammy became a storyteller, captivating audiences with tales of bravery, wisdom, and the magic that exists within every journey. And though the forest remained a cherished memory, its lessons stayed with him, guiding him in all his endeavors. In the end, Sammy learned that the true magic of the forest was not just in its wonders, but in the connections he made and the impact he had on those around him. And so his adventure continued, not just in the forest, but in the hearts of everyone he touched. Part 8, The Legacy Lives On. Years passed, and Sammy's tales grew into legends that spread far and wide. People from neighboring villages came to listen, enchanted by the stories of a young traveler who dared to explore the mysterious forest and discovered secrets of life, courage, and friendship. One day, a young child approached Sammy, eyes wide with curiosity. Will you ever go back to the forest? They asked. Sammy smiled, a spark of adventure in his eyes. The forest lives within me now, he replied, but perhaps it's your turn to seek its wonders. Inspired by Sammy's words, a new generation began setting off on their own adventures, carrying his wisdom and courage in their hearts. They, too, would return with the stories of bravery and kindness, continuing Sammy's legacy of inspiring others. As the years went by, Sammy watched with pride, knowing that the magic of the forest would never fade. It had taken root in the hearts of those who dared to dream and explore, ensuring that its legacy would live on through every new adventurer who crossed its path. And so Sammy's journey found its true meaning, not just in the tales he told, but in the lives he touched, the dreams he ignited, and the unending ripple of hope he left behind. End of story. Subscribe to our channel for more educational stories.